So here we go. This is the new replacement for the F350. It's only $2,500. Close family friend was getting rid of this truck, and I was kind of apprehensive about it, to be fair, but I've never had a Cummins and always wanted one. And it's gonna be a while before my other truck comes in, and I needed something. And you know, there's really not any great deals on anything right now. So if you can find something that somebody's selling that you kind of trust, or it's been in the family or something like that, I'd say go for it. This truck was super low miles. It's only got 39,000 miles. So this is a 2019 2500 Big Horn. It has a leveler up front. Came with 2 sets of wheels and tires. I've already done some upgrades today to it. First thing I did was change the high and low beam bulbs, installed the fog lights to some LEDs in the front. Let's see, what else did I do? It had a huge paint correction, a lot of work in the last few days in this thing. It's super basic inside, but it'll suffice. It's a nice truck. So there's for our fog lights. Just went and did a 8-inch screen install, so that's nice. This is just a bench seat truck. What's wild is, check this out. Big difference from the F350. Only 2,300 pounds of payload. And obviously, being that it's a Ram, they got much smaller second row. Unfortunately, with these aftermarket fender flares, my WeatherTech mud flaps wouldn't work for it. But it's got some kind of fancy wheels. I'm gonna be selling these, not about that, but installed the Tailgate assist dampener. Has a real nice MBRP catback exhaust. It looks tough. I don't think it really provides any function. And came with a Sinister diesel cold air intake, which I already removed and put a factory intake on it. But this is a truck. I'm gonna be really curious to see what how this thing does.
Now I'm going to show you the process of all the modifications and changes I just made to this truck. I just showed at the beginning.
So here's the first thing I'm going to do. This has a Sinister intake, which is really nice because it makes the turbo sound awesome. But I use this truck for towing snowmobile trailers in the wintertime, dirt roads, everything. And I don't feel super confident in this being good for the conditions I'm going to be driving for. And I'll miss the turbo sound, but honestly, I want like more durability and reliability than this system. So I got to remove this. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to be upgrading the LED headlights for the low beam and high beam. So here's my takeoff stock intake. Got a new air filter in. So I'm going to install this, put it back to stock, and get to changing the low and high beams to LED. So I went with the Last Fit LED headlights. A lot of people speak pretty highly about these. They've got the fans on the back, and they're adjustable as far as the 3 to 9 position and 6 to 12. So this is what I'm going to be doing for the high and low beam. I'm curious if I'll get any flickering or any issue. All the reviews and everything look good on these. I'll try it out. If they don't work, it's an easy thing to put back or get something else. But for the money, these might be pretty hard to beat. All right, so this is going to be the low beam, and I just matched up the connector. It looks the same, so we will see if this works. See if it's clocked in the right orientation also. All right, now time for the high beam. We got the low beam adjusted, and actually I had to do it in a vertical position, so let's do the low beam now. All right, so here's a video comparison. So Last Fit LEDs, low beam on the left, stock halogens on the right. Massive difference. And I have the bulbs in the 12 and 6 o'clock position. It's hard to tell right here. Okay, I got the stock intake back on. Got 2 of the rubber grommets on the bottom that hold it. I'm missing the one up top, so I can add that after the fact. I've actually got that on order from eBay. This attaches really nice. Now the last step is to connect the turbo side. That's it, stock intake, all bolted back in. Sensors all good. Okay, got high beam, low beam, intake done. Now working on replacing the stock Big Horn with the lower. We pulled the one fascia trim bezel out. Got this one out. Now we're gonna heat this bad boy up and get the fog light to fit in. There's another YouTuber that had this trick. Pretty neat actually. You heat this area up and it'll actually sandwich this in place. I've seen a few people do it now, and it actually works pretty well. It's a low-cost solution. It works pretty well. So all you do is take a heat gun and heat up. What he did was heat up around this. Just kept doing 360s around this on the inside and on the outside. Push the LED through and it literally fits like it's molded. It's incredible how good that fits around there. You'd think that's from the factory. Looks great. So what we do is pop off all these little clips that pinch it into the fog light opening in the bumper. Put these in. Slides right in. All right, got all the headlights and everything installed, fog lights. Now the next step, change this system out. Go from the 5-inch display to the 8-inch. Looks like it's gonna be pretty easy. I think all I gotta do is, take these two out, trim switch, pop it forward. Let's see, should be a nice upgrade if it works. Such a simple modification to pull this thing off, literally. Just remove these 2 screws on the top, pull from the top carefully, and the whole thing just pops off. Now I'm gonna remove all these different connections and swap out the console. So there's the old console. It's not dual climate control. I wanted to get one that was similar. And here is the new one. So we will see how well this works. Looks like all the controls look the same. So hopefully it should be pretty simple plug and play. So here's the moment of truth. We got the whole new 8.4-inch display all connected. You have to get a code for anti-theft. You either got to go through the dealer or have someone that is familiar with the programming of these radios, which I found someone on one of the Facebook Cummins pages. So let's see if it works. Yep, code worked. So last step, bolt it back down, cover it up, and I am all good to go. So this will be a great improvement over that little tiny screen that was in this thing. So here's the last upgrade, tailgate assist drop. See, it'll just drop. So we have to remove the headlight, we have to remove the tail light, and actually the factory damper right here actually goes inside of there. So it's hard to tell, but there's actually another one of those ball mounts like this further down. You can see it down there. So in the past, instead of using the factory production like a Mopar, I would actually use like the DZ that mounts on the inside. But the fact that Chrysler hides it away, I spent the extra 20 bucks and got the factory one that goes in there just because it's out of the way. Easier, less chance of getting hung up over here. That's it, it's connected on both ends. Snap tail light back in. That's it. Here's why you do the mod. How cool is that? Huge improvement with the 8-inch display. This is amazing. Absolutely worth getting.
So with this first video, I'm kind of highlighting my first round of modifications I wanted to do to the 2019 Ram 2500. Whole purpose of this truck is kind of showing you what you can do building a clean, used, 5th generation Ram 2500. And honestly, a lot of the stuff I'm doing is very budget friendly, but gives you a lot of high utility and purpose. I'm going to be doing a lot more. This is the first round. I'm actually finishing up the next round of upgrades on this truck. But the plan is to try to make this as or more capable off-road than our 2023 Ford F-350 trimmer. That was a beautiful truck, no doubt about it. In the meantime, we're going to have a lot of fun building this up and seeing how capable the Cummins is. This is the first Cummins I've had, and honestly, I'm really ecstatic about it. These motors just have such a strong reputation. I'll be curious to see how I like the rest of the truck. I'm going to be doing a pretty solid trip coming up, putting about 500 miles on it in the next week, highway driving, and I'm really curious to see how DEF and fuel consumption is on this truck compared to the 2023 F-350 I just had. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. More fun videos to come on this truck.